My voice is very raspy,
Yeah.
as you know.
Just tell them it's your Louis Armstrong thing.
Yeah. Can I now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. On the completion of the Galloway Health Center in 1993, many wondered what this 30-year-old building would be used for. There were rumors about that the building was going to be demolished. What a waste that would be. The building could serve as a rooming or boarding house or a group home. Maryfield had a new health center, and their old hospital was now being used as a nursing home. So why couldn't we do likewise in Oxbow? Several concerned citizens of Oxbow felt that the town should buy the property and make it into a personal care home. But the hospital board were reluctant to sell. However, they were quite willing to pay someone thousands of dollars to demolish the building and haul the bricks away. I did a little snooping about that, and I wondered why we were turned down. But it was said that if this building were left here, it would be an eyesore in front of the new hospital. So it must go. In November of 1992, our mayor, Len Yates, and a local contractor, Charlie Seaver, organized a town hall meeting for all those in our community who were interested in making the old hospital into a community care home. The hall was filled to capacity with citizens from Oxbow, Alameda, Glen and the two municipalities involved. There was much discussion of the pros and cons. A show of hands determined that the majority were in favor of buying the property. 10 volunteers offered to sit on the board who would make inquiries and lay the groundwork for establishing a constitution and submitting plans to the Department of Health. A community-wide canvass would be undertaken to raise funds. The naysayers made it quite clear that this plan cannot succeed, and they would not support it. Thus, the community was divided at that point. Our board was subdivided into committees, building management, finance. A local lawyer helped us draw up a contract at no cost. The manager we hired was a registered nurse who had much experience with elderly people, and her suggestions to the building committee were so helpful. Charlie Seaberer drew up the planned renovations, which were approved by the Department of Health. My brother, Jarl Mellon, drove miles and miles. He'd get into his car in the morning with an ice cream bucket, and he hit the road. He canvassed all the way from Frobisher to Cardiff, in town and out of town. He'd come in with many donations in the evening and just dumped the bucket out with thousands of dollars in it. That was our beginning point. Charlie, you're watching us here. Our local businesses gave us a 10% reduction on all our purchases. The local oil companies donated generously and supported many fundraisers. We bought the building from the hospital board. Now I've got the figure down here for $20,000. I might have been wrong on that.
I got a discount.
In addition, though our plans met the building specifications, we would not be given a license unless we installed a sprinkler system required by the fire regulations. I've got that down that it cost us $20,000.
That's not right.
Of course, that's not right. I do know that it's, what do they call it, the top of the, whatever. The year of 1993 was a wonderful example of community spirit. as volunteers came from every direction with their own tools. Many mid-morning or mid-afternoons were occasions when some lady would come in with fresh muffins, tarts, or cookies with coffee bricks. One call would literally bring everyone crawling out of the woodwork. You didn't know how many were there until that moment. The camaraderie and the goodwill was a bonus for us all. I have to tell you about one of these days. A lady came with something fresh. We all gathered. Coffee, they all came. Frank Cushion was working in one of the east wing. But when he finished his lunch, he didn't know where to go back. Because when you looked around, all the hallways looked the same. And he didn't know which one he'd come from. So he carefully looked after that from then on. Every time Frank left the room he worked in, he laid his hammer out in the hallway in front of his door. And he didn't miss any lunches. Yeah. Okay. Our comrade. Oh yeah, and that, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, that was her comrade. And a couple of old gurneys were left there. They were ideal. They put a sheet of plywood on there, and we used those for painting. It could reach the ceiling and all the way down. And just push the circuit.
Don't tell the H&S.
I happened to be doing that one day, and I happened to be talking for some reason or other. And I happened to walk right off it. I didn't break a finger. My job was to keep a good supply of painting tools on hand, and that kept me busy. There were endless jobs to be done. Cleaning, repairing, replacing, plumbing and heating, the floor and the ceiling tiles, the windows, the air vents. Ask Frank Cushion about cleaning out air vents. Occasionally, without notice, an inspector from the Department of Health would pop in, never the same one twice. I happened to be the one on deck when one of them came, and I was privileged to show him around. He was so impressed with the fact that each resident would have a private room and their own bathroom, saying that one would not find that anywhere else. He also commended us for keeping the call lights, whereas a previous one had said, get rid of the call lights. We didn't want to do that, as we felt they were really necessary. So they were still there. They're still there. We were then granted a license to operate a personal care home for persons at assessment levels of 1 and 2. Now, some people mistakenly think that this is a senior's home or that it's a nursing home. It's personal care. If you're 25 years old and you don't need personal care, you could be there. We were then granted a license to operate a personal care home. These levels are what they call at risk, but they're fully capable of feeding and dressing themselves and going to the bathroom. Since the villa is a non-profit venture, we are rated as a charitable organization with a number for donation receipts. Our capacity is for 22 residents. We started out slowly with less than 10 residents. The number fluctuates as people come and go. I think the Humbles lived here about 16 years. When I came here 10 years ago, we numbered 21 residents. And our present day, right now, or was a week or two ago, full house. Now we're not. And that's the way it goes. Somebody leaves and somebody comes. Our staff consists of a manager, an activity director, aides for housekeeping, kitchen and laundry, 24-hour attendant care, Now that's regarded as different than the housekeeping. We have home cooked meals and 2 whirlpool baths a week. Gotta be careful, so they try to drive you. They try to drown me. Where are you, Leslie?
Hasn't worked yet, has it?
We have home cooked meals and 2 whirlpool baths a week. Our aides are so cheerful, kind, and helpful in any way, any time of the day, or any time of the night. Buzz that, how can I help you? Approximately 1/3 of our rental cost can be used as a medical expense for income tax purposes. We found that out a few years ago, and that helps a lot. We are the Villa family, and we enjoy our happy home. Falling is a fear, therefore we look out for each other. We enjoy the tasty and nutritious meals. On your birthday, you have the privilege of planning the menu. We play cards, Scrabble, crossword puzzles, long games, quizzes, or sit in our chairs to watch TV or read. At 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., there's a gathering around the table out front for snacks and beverage. It could lead to a discussion lasting a half hour or more. Same thing goes for the evening bedtime snack. We're blessed this time of the year. Well, I wrote this in the fall. We're blessed this time of the year with fresh garden vegetables and fresh fruit. Often there is a generous donation of a 4-H beef or a pork, all wrapped and frozen to our specifications. The naysayers have done an about turn when they're seeking care for their loved ones who were assessed at level 1 or 2. I am proud of our villa, and I'm very grateful to be here after recovering from a mini stroke in 2009. We are so fortunate to live here, across the street from the clinic, next door to the Galloway Health Center. I'll have to tell you about my last trip. I went to the Galloway Health Center to the lab. There's some problems there I have to check. So I walked over there with my walker. Maureen doesn't like that, but I said, well, as they watch me football, they can come pick me up. And then I walked from there over to the doctor's office. And I was pooped. And before I went home, he told one of his girls to get the wheelchair there. I went home in the wheelchair. Wow. Anyway, that's the kind of service we get. Excuse me. There's no place better to be here.
Oh, all right.
So,
Get the cough, Mom. Can you all hear me?
yeah.
So, oh yeah, there's not a better place to be. We are getting the best of care, and all these years, I have yet to see or hear a grumpy, that's in quotes, aide. They bring their smiles and laughter to work. We've been operating the villa for 25 years, providing a safe and healthy home environment. Our volunteer board members face a challenge as the rent income from the residents does not cover the overall cost of wages, groceries, utilities, and maintenance. It is a tribute to our community-minded, generous supporters and a dream come true to those of us who have benefited from our participation in making this building a personal care home. And I can tell you, myself, that every time I talk to my mom, every Sunday, sometimes more, she tells me...
They bought a face...
Yeah, we bought her an iPad so we could FaceTime. Well, I need to keep an eye on her.
So they can spy on me.
Yeah, we're up front. We told her. I said, this is so I can see her face, right, Mom? So.
Okay, let me tell me the first time we used
Oh,
that.
geez.
You gotta get the mic.
This is Rich. This is the technician here that sees all this. And he came out here and stayed 2 or 3 days to teach me. Huh? And anyway, for the FaceTime, he goes out in the hallway, shuts the door, and he calls me from down the hallway. And then I'm supposed to respond. That's what's going back, you know. So I was well taught for a few days. Anyway, he went back home, and then on Sunday, when I was washing up, I thought, you know, those boys phone me every Sunday. I'll bet the stinkers will use that thing. So I went to the bathroom and I thought, I'd better get prepared. And I'm in there washing, not really presentable. And ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Ooh, that's it. So I rush out of the bathroom. I pick it up, and there's Wayne's face. Say, oh, what button do I push? What do we do? Oh, nothing, but I'm looking at the ceiling. Oh, well, that's okay, because I'm not dressed. You'll see my boobs. So I said, just a minute. And I leave it laying open, and I run in and grab a blouse to get it on. And I go back and put it on. Then I put Wayne on my lap. And then I'm looking at it. And yeah, he said, I'm looking at the ceiling. Oh, okay. So I set him up. Yeah. Well, you haven't got your dentures. So that's the kind of a student I am.
We also see her thumb an awful lot.
Anyway, so
She tells me every time I call how much she loves it there and how much fun she has playing Scrabble and how well she's cared for. So I thank you for letting me sleep at night.
I'm so proud of that villa that I often think, hey, you guys, this is my home. You better respect it because I worked hard. Thank you.